Damn, it done got cold again today. Shit. I love the cold, but I had to take a break, chill out for a little bit. But yeah, man, get straight to this. But yeah, man, it's black versus Latino rivalry, keeping it real. When it comes to boxing, shit kind of coming off fake. You know what I mean? I was talking to somebody the other day, well, not the other day, earlier today. I was chopping it up with somebody and shit about this shit. And they were talking about, Solid, why you always going in on the Latinos and shit? You be going ham on them and shit and all that. I'm like, I ain't going in on them. I'm just really being honest. You know, see, the thing is, when it comes to the feuding with the Latinos or whatever, or always speaking on them, first of all, people like to hear this stuff. People actually like this content. You dig? So it's not like I'm talking about something that people are tubed out from. People actually like to hear this shit. So it is what it is. Secondly, if you peep game, usually when I speak on Latinos, it's like a retaliation. It's not necessarily me just going at them. Like I'm retaliating to the stuff that they're saying in my presence or on my watch. And I'm one of them dudes that ain't scared to like speak out on something that I feel is bullshit. A lot of people don't be wanting to do that. And I don't be with that shit. What's good with you? You know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily that I'll just be attacking them. You know, a lot of bullshit be coming from them, and I ain't scared to speak on that shit. That's pretty much all it is. It ain't necessarily I'm attacking them or whatever. So I disagree with that. You know, the thing that be tripping though, that be kind of like weird though, is what I think is weird is, you know, Latino fans, boxing fans, like the example in boxing, they claim that black fans are race fans, right? Problem with that is it's hard to respect that because it's like they say that about you, then you sit back and watch them, but they're doing the same thing they accuse you of doing. See, that's one of the things that I be tripping off of when it comes to the Latinos. They accuse black fans of something that they do themselves. You know what I mean? And it's like it's hard to respect that because it's like you claim black fans are race fans and only support black fighters, but then you sit back and watch them. They do the same thing. They only support Latino fighters. You know what I mean? And it's like it's hard to respect that because it's like, you know, it's like example, when Inoue fought Cardenas last year, everybody knew Inoue was the better fighter, but they still were going for their guy. He's Mexican. So it's like, but they would say black folks do that, but then they do it. So it's like it's hard to respect that when you know that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I don't be liking about that shit. You know, I can't dig that. Just like if Ryan Garcia was black, they would have never gave him credit for beating Devin Haney, given what happened after the fact. Because I made a mistake. I gave Ryan Garcia credit for beating Devin Haney, but I shouldn't though, because it was a fake win. Like it was a fake win. There was some shit that was revealed after the fight that looks like he had an advantage in that fight. Then his very next fight, he looked like trash against a lesser opponent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I made a mistake. I should have never gave that motherfucker no credit. That was a fake win against Devin Haney. You look at Devin Haney's record, he's still undefeated. So knowing that, I can't even respect that. So I made a mistake saying that. But I know for a fact if he was a black dude, he would never have gotten credit from no Mexicans for doing no shit like that. It's just because he's a fellow Mexican. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. They criticize black folks for supporting their people, but then they support their people. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's like when you're black and when you support your fighters, that bothers Mexican fans for some reason. I don't know why. Like they trip off that shit when they shouldn't even give a fuck. But this is starting to come off fake because I'm starting to think this shit is sparked by jealousy. Because I don't believe there's a real rivalry for real like that. Because it's already, like we already know who the best fighters of all time is. So we ain't even got to go down that road anymore. But I'm starting to think this shit really ain't authentic. It's just some jealousy cap shit coming out their mouth. And they just want to come at us with that because They're the only ones that really go out their way to talk shit about us. Everybody else is kind of like chilling, even though they do it, but not like how they do it. But they literally get up every day to come at us sideways. And then we respond to that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that shit is funny style. Solid as I can tell IBFP Nuke wants Teofimo to win. If Teofimo beat Shakur, IBF Nuke gonna meet Ride Teofimo and then say he trashed like Garcia. I don't know what he gonna do. This is gonna be an interesting fight though. Let's speak on that. Because Shakur, I said this the other day in my other live, but he's fought a guy like T.O. before, because a lot of people are saying that Shakur has never fought nobody like T.O. before. That's not true. If you guys remember, Edwin De Los Santos is very similar to Teofimo Lopez. Super athletic, very fast, can knock you the fuck out. They're very similar fighters. So he's seen this style before. So when people say that he's never fought a guy that's really athletic like this, really explosive like this, that's not true. Because he could have got Shakur, he could have got knocked the fuck out by De Los Santos. That's why he fought him the way he did, because he knew this dude is lightning quick, fast hands, he can punch hard, he'll put my ass. If I'm not careful, if I don't do this so-called super technical defense shit, I'm gonna fuck around and get my ass knocked out. And see, he knew that. That's why he did what he did. And it resulted in a fight that a lot of people felt was boring. But when you think about it, shit, he kind of had to do that shit, because it's like De Los Santos, he'll put niggas down. You see what I'm saying? Just like T.O. would. So it's like he's seen this style before. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a great matchup, in my opinion. I favor Shakur to win, but I give credit where it's due. So if Teofimo does win, I'll give Teofimo his credit. He is a great fighter. He could win this fight. It is what it is. But I think Shakur is going to just, classic Shakur Stevenson, just do everything better and just win the fight. I honestly feel that's what's going to happen. Me personally. Yeah, that's just how I feel about that. In my personal opinion, if Teofimo try fight like Zepeda, he might get knocked down once or twice. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When Shakur and Zepeda fought, I picked Shakur to win that fight, but I picked him to win that fight by knockout. Now I know that sounds crazy, right? Because I say that because Shakur Stevenson is one of the best counter punchers in boxing, right? I honestly thought with Zepeda just coming forward and throwing punches, I honestly thought Shakur was going to catch him with a counter and put him down. But it didn't happen. He was hitting him with a lot of good shots, but he didn't put him down. You know what I'm saying? I honestly thought that was going to happen. So I don't know if he'll do that to T.O., but we've seen T.O. been knocked down before. Zepeda been knocked down before too. So both of them been knocked down before. But I honestly thought he was going to do that because Shakur get you with them counters. Because what I think is going to happen with the T.O. fight, T.O.'s going to be doing that athletic stuff. He's going to be trying to come in with the athletic explosiveness. And I think Shakur is going to be timing him, and he's going to catch him. He's going to punish him. Shakur got that jab. Shakur can hit you with them quick 3-4 punch combos. His body work is good. I think he's going to piece T.O. up, but like I said, it's boxing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The fight goes the distance. Yeah, I got a 12 round. I'm predicting a 12-round win for Shakur. I agree. I don't think it's going to be no knockout or nothing. None of that. I predict 12-round UD for Shakur. That's who I'm favoring to win. That's who I'm picking. I actually got money on Shakur. So that's who I'm picking to win. But T.O. got a chance. T.O. definitely got a chance. These are two of the best young fighters in boxing. So this is going to be a really good fight. Very good fight. So I definitely see that. As far as Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz go, as far as that fight go, I'm favoring Keyshawn to win that. But I think that's going to be tough because Jermaine Ortiz is battle tested. But Jermaine Ortiz has also been beaten. And I think Jermaine Ortiz is good. I just think Keyshawn's a little bit better from what I saw. When I looked at both fighters, Keyshawn Davis is better than Jermaine Ortiz. He should be able to win this fight. But I think it's going to be tough because Jermaine Ortiz is tough. He can fight. And he's been in there with some real ones and he held his own, even when he lost. So he got that experience against top competition. But I think Keyshawn's going to figure out a way to overcome that and win. I honestly believe that. Will he knock out Jermaine Ortiz? It's possible. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that with a IDK. I don't know. I do think Shakur might be underestimating T.O. like Haney did Garcia. They both swore they were going to win before the fight. Hey, there's some validity to that. I feel like Shakur is like one of the most careful boxers you can have. Exactly. He's one of the most careful boxers you can have. I feel like he's going to be game. So we'll see. We definitely going to find out in 24 hours, though. Ortiz supposed to be undefeated. When you say that, I'm guessing you're referring to the couple of losses he had. Nah, I thought it's hard to say. It's hard to say because on one hand, it did look like he won that T.O. fight. Then on the other hand, it's like you could say that's a draw. So it's hard to say. But nonetheless, Ortiz is a good fighter though. This is probably the best fighter that Keyshawn Davis has fought. You know, you look at his resume, he fought some solid fighters, but this is probably the best one. I just think it's going to be a tough fight, but I think Keyshawn Davis is going to find a way to beat him. I just feel that. Shakur swore on everything he loved. I forget when Haney swore on before the fight. Like I said, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Haney lost to a drug cheat. Shit, I can't argue that. I mean, that's what was revealed after the fight. It was discovered. Ryan fucking with that bullshit. Looked like it gave him an advantage. You know, Ryan's had like a weird career though when you think about it, because it's like a year before the Haney fight, he gets his ass stopped fucking around with Tank. Then a year later, he fights Haney and does what he does to Haney. Then we find out the nigga cheated, right? So we can't respect it. Then a year after that, he fights Rolly Romero, who's a lesser opponent, no disrespect, but a lesser opponent than Tank and Haney. He gets spanked by him. So it's like he didn't had a weird ass turn of events. Yeah, because I agree with that, because I think when all these fights are said and done, I think one of them two, I think either Garcia or I think either Haney, one of them is going to be pitted in a fight against Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn is going to, which I don't agree, but he's going to come back down to 47, which I feel he shouldn't do. And I think either Haney or Garcia, one of them is going to fight. One of them is going to fight Conor Benn. I honestly think that's what's going to happen if they don't do the fucking Haney and Garcia rematch. Because Garcia is supposed to beat Mario Barrios. He's supposed to win that fight, right? And if he wins, that would make the best perfect backdrop for the Haney and Garcia rematch. But I think they're going to throw a monkey wrench in it and throw Conor Benn in the mix of that, because they want to get him a big fight. And they're probably going to do a UK fight, and it's going to be either Haney or Garcia versus Conor Benn. That's what I think is going to happen. Because I'm hearing rumors about Haney fighting Pacquiao, but that's kind of a waste of time. You know, Pacquiao really, we all know Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting anymore. The guy's almost 50 trying to professionally box. That's not a good idea. I understand Pacquiao's a legend, but fuck all that, you know. So, but that's what I think is going to happen, though, if they don't do the Haney versus Garcia rematch. Because like I said, Garcia beat Barrios, shit, perfect backdrop for it. He beat Barrios, bang. Run it back. It'll be a title fight too, unification fight. Why not? But You know, we've seen stranger things happen. Yeah, it definitely gave Ryan an advantage, not making weight in the peds. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but it's hard to give him credit for that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They'll feed Crocker to Ben to get him a belt. That's another avenue they could do. They could do that too. Yeah. In the meantime, that's something that would happen. I don't agree with Conor Ben going back down to 147 though. You just fought at 160. I would go to 54 because it's like you want to go all the way down to 147 from 160. That might not be healthy to do, but that's what he's saying he wants to do. And I don't know if I agree with that, but it is what it is. Then fight Ryan. They're low-key trying to freeze out Haney. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to either Haney or Ryan, I think after their fights, after Ryan fights, I think that's what's going to happen. Like you said, I agree with you. They're probably going to have Conor get that belt from Crocker if he can beat him. And then they're probably either Haney or Ryan is going to fight Conor Ben. That I think that's what they want to happen. That's what they want. And I believe that's what they want to happen. You know, I don't mind that fight, but I feel like Ryan versus Haney too, that needs to happen. This time with no drugs. A real fight, no drug cheating. And I feel like that needs to happen. I saw Adames had to pull out because he got sick. That's unfortunate. So, oh no. Bruce Carrington, his fight should be good. He's fighting this tough ass Mexican dude. You know what I'm saying? That should be a good fight. I got him winning that fight, but shit, I think that's going to be a tough fight. The Mexican dude ain't no bitch coming to fight. So that should be a good one. So this is going to be a great weekend. You know, B Murderous fighting this weekend versus Josh Kelly. That should be a good fight. You know, honestly, I got that 50-50 because, like, I think Murder's-Aliyev is good from the Tim Tszyu fight, but I haven't seen much to be like, oh yeah, he's an elite level fighter. And Josh Kelly the same, but I think that's a 50-50 fight. So that should be. I'm gonna check that fight out. That should be a good fight. So I'm gonna check that fight out. Solid. It seems like IBFP might have got what he wanted. No pushback on BS. He be saying sometimes he wanted the yes men on his panel. Pushback. Hold up. What do you say? Let me read that again. Solid. It seems like IBFP might have got what he wanted. No pushback on BS. He be saying sometimes he wanted BS men on this panel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Is he live now? I ain't seen nothing. He only talk about the same three things over and over again, like I said in one of my other videos. So I'm pretty sure he's on there doing the same. If he is live, it's the same old bullshit. Good test for him. Yeah, that Josh Kelly and Murder's-Aliyev fight, I got that 50-50. That could go either way. Either way. It should be a good little scrap. I think Xander's going to win his fight. So that should be cool. Honestly, I don't think Boots and Ortiz and Virgil's going to fight. I don't think that fight's going to happen. I think Xander versus Ortiz would be a good backup fight. Because I don't think none of them dudes wants to fight Boots. I honestly think Boots. Now I'm assuming, I'm guessing, I could be totally wrong about this shit, but this is what I think is going to happen. I honestly think Boots is going to fight the winner out of Murder's-Aliyev and Josh Kelly. I think Boots is watching. He's going to fight the winner, and I think Verge, because Fundora got a fight coming up. He's fighting Thurman. So Fundora is not going to be available. And I got a feeling I wouldn't be surprised if Ortiz fights the winner out of the Xander fight. And I would not be surprised if Ortiz fought the winner. Because I honestly think Boots is going to fight the winner out of Murtazaliev and Josh Kelly. And that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? And if Xander and Virgil fight, I got Xander. I think Xander would outbox him. And if Boots fights Murtazaliev for Josh Kelly, you already know Boots taking that. Yeah, IBFP nuke live right now, Solidus. It's pure yes, man. Only Steel Mills gives a little pushback. Shit. They talking about Crawford again. They hating on Terrence Crawford again. Same old bullshit, hating on Crawford. Let me guess. Shakur Stevenson's boring, but they're going to watch his fight. All these fight, it's some real hater shit. Like they claim, all these guys on the internet, they talking all that shit. Devin Haney's a boring fighter. Shakur Stevenson's a boring fighter. But yeah, everything they do, they pay attention to. You're watching all their fights. Back in November when Devin Haney was fighting Brian Number Jr., all these motherfuckers watched this fight that are saying he's a boring fighter, but yet you're watching this fight. Then you're a fucking hater because you're watching the fight in the hopes that they lose. That's hater shit. People that are not haters don't do that. But if a fighter is boring, why watch them? Like all these guys are talking shit. Oh, Shakur is boring, but they're going to sit there and watch the fight. They're going to watch this man fight. You know what I'm saying? What type of bullshit is that? Mexicans are very envious of Black Americans. It seems that way because they seem to focus a lot on us. But I'm strictly referring to like just the boxing community. And I notice in boxing, they seem to just enjoy talking down on Black fighters. And they don't do that to nobody else but Black fighters. It's like they don't got smoke for nobody but black fighters. It's like everybody else, they don't got nothing to say about. But when it's a Black fighter, they got all this bullshit to say. So it comes off like they're jealous. And I believe that to be true. So I agree with you. It stems from them insecurities too. Because in boxing, they was taught they were a match. To their standard, Teofimo is boring too. He's a boxer. That's facts. Because yeah, you're right. Teo is a boxer. He boxes. He has movement. He has footwork like Black fighters do. He moves. But he's not Black though, so they're not going to come at him like that. But you're right though. He does fight like the style they would say is boring. Because according to a lot of these Mexican boxing fans, they say, Latino boxing fans, they claim that if you know how to move and if you know how to fight and move, you're versatile, you can fight backing up, you can fight coming forward. They say that if you fight like that, you're a boring fighter. And they don't like that and they criticize you. That's what they're saying. But you're right. Teofimo Lopez, he fights like that. He can fight backing up and he can fight coming forward. He's versatile. But they don't say he's boring though. But when a Black fighter does that same style, he's boring. So that should tell you something right there. Exactly. Whenever a boxer is slick and smooth and doesn't get hit, he's running. Exactly. It's a skill. It's called skillful boxing. And these people are going around screaming up and down that you're a runner if you fight like that. So if you stand there and let a guy punch on you and get fucked up when you could prevent that, they respect that for whatever strange reason. But if I'm able to prevent that and do damage to my opponent and not really get hit in return and win that way, you're running. That's what they're saying. Because that's what Floyd Mayweather did. All the great fighters did that. So they got a weird view on boxing. To me, Teofimo not much of a come forward fighter. If he gets you like in a if Teo hits you with a shot, if he sees you're weakened, he'll come forward. He does that a lot. Like he was coming forward on Cambosis, even though he wasn't fighting correctly in that fight. So there's fights where he does do that, but you're right though. He's versatile though. He knows how to move. They expect black boxers to just stand and bang them. It's about hitting and not getting hit. In order to win at the highest level, it would greatly benefit you to hit and not get hit. If you want to have a successful long career and if you want to win most, if not all your fights, you should learn how to hit and not get hit. Mayweather probably would have took a couple of L's had he just stood there and let people hit on him. But see, he was smart. He understood. I don't have to do that to win. See, that's being smart. I never knew somebody get knocked for being smart. But like I said, these people that criticize that, they just got a very strange view on boxing. But I think they say that because if fighters they don't like that do and they want to see them lose. Just like how people will make pay-per-views, they're only paying to see them lose. It's not like they really enjoy them. They just want to see them lose. Like straight hater shit. So it's like, you just want to see me lose. That's why you want me to fight this way. Because you're a fucking hater. That's what it is. Because people don't get it. Then if you do stand there and bang and do that, they'll criticize it. Like they did Billy Mason. He should have fought smarter instead of just standing there trading punches. But ain't that what you motherfuckers want to see? So like I said, man, these people got a strange way of how they look at boxing. And the thing that's frustrating is they think they're right. They think they're right. They literally think what they're saying is right. These people are fucking crazy. And people forget Floyd switched up his style. Pretty boy Floyd was throwing straight up hands, but he switched to his style after he got out that contract and became unstoppable. Yeah, his whole career, he was unstoppable. You're right. In the early years of his career, he was knocking people out. He was fight. He was always a great offensive fighter. It's just that as his career went along, he got better at defense. You know what I mean? It's called evolving, But if you really want to win and have a successful long career, you better learn how to hit and not get hit. You think you're going to just take punches your whole career and just last? That shit might not work out. But like I said, man, the other side, they ain't fucking with that. They ain't fucking with that. They ain't fucking with that. Yup. Yeah, Floyd definitely goated. Floyd definitely goated. But nah, the black versus Latinos rivalry is coming off fake. I think it's a lot of jealousy coming from them. That's where all that bullshit they be saying comes from. Because I know it's the internet, and the internet, what people say on the internet holds no weight, and I understand that. So this probably might sound silly, but fuck it, we won't say it. Like every time you go on the internet and get in a boxing circle, it's always like somebody Latino typing some bullshit. You read that shit like, for real, you really said that dumb shit. Somebody saying something crazy. So it's coming off like jealousy to me. I don't think they really got a problem. It's jealous. I honestly feel that. So that's what I'm saying. It's coming off fake. I don't think it's real. You said black people love being victims online, bruh. Come on, drop it. No one's racist. Go to a real boxing gym. No one says hi to no one. Go touch grass. I never see whites, Asians, or Hispanics doing all this. There's some truth to there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. The black people being the victims part, that's not true. You said no one's racist. That's debatable. Go to a real boxing gym. No one says hi to no one. Go touch grass. I never see whites or Asians or Hispanics doing all this. That part I don't agree with, because if you say anything about a Hispanic fighter that's not favorable, the Hispanics want your head. So that's cap. And as far as whites and Asians go, When it comes to boxing, surprisingly, whites and Asians, they don't be hating like that, I noticed. From my experience. I could be wrong, but from my experience, white folks and Asian folks that participate in boxing, from what I've learned, they don't be hating like that. Like they don't go out the way to always say something negative about certain fighters. They don't do that. That mostly be the Latinos. But I know for a fact, you say anything about a Latino fighter that's not favorable, the Latinos is coming for your head. So that's cap. So I can't agree with that part. I agree with you when you said the online shit. Yeah, you're right. This internet shit is silly. And like I said, what people say on the internet really don't hold no weight unless you're talking about real shit. But the boxing shit, yeah, that part is true. I agree with that part. But everything else sound like some cap to me. Yeah, sound like some cap. Nah, you right. Latinos were top blacks and Mexicans make the best match. Then they started getting beat up everywhere. That's a fact. They salty solid is the guy they said was such a great fighter. Canelo lost to Crawford. Yeah, they still that fight was almost 5 months ago. They still tripping off that. That's facts. They still tripping off that shit. That shit was 5 months ago. They still mad about that. Because remember, like I always say, they nitpicked everything they possibly can about Crawford just to talk shit about him because that's how upset they are that he beat Canelo. That's some straight up bitch shit, but that's what these people are doing. Makes no sense. You would think they'd be over it by now. The fight was damn near 5 months ago. You would think by now they wouldn't be tripping off that shit no more. It is what it is. You dig? And then, like I said, the Latinos, they only do that to black people. They only do that to black fighters. They don't do that to no other fighter. They would nitpick and find anything possible, literally possible, they can criticize about black fighters. They don't do that to nobody else but black fighters. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just hard to respect shit like that. And their main guy lost to 2 black fighters. That pisses them off. Yeah, that's a fact. Solid is it's just the insecure Mexicans. I'm Mexican and I'm no hater. Crawford Floyd, great. Nah, a lot of Mexicans is real. The problem is on the internet, the fake ones be on there. But they're because in real life, I know some solid Mexicans. They don't be on that black versus brown shit. They don't be with that shit. They solid. So I know there's Mexicans that don't be into that bullshit. And I know there's Mexicans out here that ain't crying that Canelo lost to Crawford. It's just that the ones I've encountered on the internet talking about boxing, it's YTBC shit, some straight hater shit. And it'd be kind of like annoying. Got me on here going back and forth with them. So nah, not every single Mexican is on that sucker shit. So I'll be a fool if I said that. I'd be a fool if I said that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Mexicans who give Floyd and Crawford his credit and don't like Canelo. Yeah, it's just the loud, insecure ones that be loud, hating so on YouTube. That's facts. See, that's real right there. That's real. That's real. 1000% facts. That's real. True statement. But yeah, man, the blacks versus Latino rivalry, that shit coming off fake. Ain't no smoke for real. You dig? We got a great weekend of boxing coming up. I'm favoring Shakur Stevenson to win. I'm gonna end the stream on this. I'm favoring Shakur Stevenson to win. However, it is boxing. Salute, salute, salute. I'm favoring Shakur Stevenson to win. However, it is boxing. Anything can happen. T.O. ain't no joke. And he can do damage. And I understand that. But I'm favoring Shakur to win. And we're going to see. It's going to be a great fight. Should be a great weekend of fights. I'm going to do a recap too. So for those that are interested, stay tuned for that. But yeah, we're going to get it. Salute. Until the next one.